Welcome to the Swift Calcs lesson on sharing projects and worksheets. In Swift Calcs, all of your projects and worksheets are stored in the cloud, making them accessible from any device with an internet connection, without any software to install. This functionality also makes sharing worksheets and projects with colleagues and clients fast and simple. When you share a worksheet or project with someone, they are given immediate access to the worksheet or project in the cloud. When you make changes, your collaborators will see the updates automatically. If they make changes, you can see their updates. There are no worries about multiple documents floating around with different version numbers or edits. With Swift Calcs, everyone has access to the same up-to-date file in the cloud. When working with a worksheet in Swift Calcs, you can quickly see the sharing settings for this worksheet by looking at the top left of the sheet. Here, all current users with access to the worksheet are listed, along with their access level. Simply click on this area to open the worksheet share settings. You can also access the share settings from the Worksheet Options menu under Manage Collaborators, or from the menu bar under Share, Manage Collaborators. To share a project, find the project in the project listing and click the Settings cog next to the project name, then Manage Collaborators. When viewing a project, you can also use the Share, Manage Collaborators option. Finally, when you create a new project, you're given the option of adding collaborators instantly from the New Project screen. Let's go ahead and look at the share settings for this worksheet. Note that all options shown in the screen in this lesson may not be visible to you if you do not have full administrator rights on the worksheet that you are using. The first thing that you will find in the pop-up dialog is the unique URL for the project or worksheet that you are sharing. This is the same URL that you will find in your browser window. You can click on this box to highlight it and then copy and paste this URL into emails or other correspondence to give others a direct link to the project or worksheet. This link is static and unique to your project or worksheet. If you ever need to change or invalidate this URL, click the Invalidate URL and Generate New Link option. This will immediately change the URL to a new one, and the previous link will no longer work. Please note that when you share this URL with someone, it does not give them access to the project or worksheet. It is merely a pointer to this project or worksheet. In addition to sharing the URL with them, you must also ensure that the user has rights to view the project or worksheet through this share setting window. Otherwise, when they visit the URL, they will get an insufficient rights message. With Swift Calcs, you can set public sharing options that apply to any and all users, or you can set specific sharing options for individual users. In the pop-up, the first pull-down is the public sharing option. It sets the sharing option for all other Swift Calcs users. You have a number of options here. The first is if this project or worksheet is within another project, you can set the item to inherit the rights from the parent project itself. This allows you to place multiple worksheets or projects into a master project. Set the sharing rights for all of them simply by setting the rights on the master project itself. All items within that project will have the sharing rights inherited. Inheriting from the parent project is the default setting, so that when you create a new project or worksheet, it will automatically inherit the rights of its parent. You can override the rights set in the parent by using any of the next four options. The first option, Disable Public Access, will make your document private and is available to paid Swift Calcs users. Anyone not authorized to view this document will be given an insufficient rights message when attempting to access the URL. The next option allows a user to view your worksheet or worksheets within the project. Shown here is the window a user sees when accessing a view-only worksheet. Note the big yellow box at the top that notes the file is view-only and no changes will be saved. A user still has the ability to interact with a view-only worksheet. However, their changes will not be saved. Additionally, the user will not be able to make copies of the file, nor will they be able to copy items out of the worksheet. The next option, Anyone with the link may view and make editable copies, is similar to the previous, but it also allows a user to create a copy of the worksheet they can change, edit, and save. Here is what that looks like to a user. Note that the yellow bar at the top still notes the file is view-only, however, it includes a Create a Copy link that allows them to create their own savable copy. When they do so, they are prompted to share the copy with you, the original author. For worksheets that you have shared, you can find a listing of all copies that have been made by other users by going to the worksheet settings and clicking View Forks. This will load a pop-up that lists all users who have created a copy of your worksheet as well as a link to the copy. Note that you will only be able to view the copies if the user has given you permissions to do so. Finally, the last option, Anyone with the link may edit, will allow other users to edit your worksheet or all worksheets within a project. In this mode, Any changes that a user makes to a worksheet will be saved to the server. Generally, publicly editable documents are not recommended, as any user could come in and update, alter, or even destroy a worksheet. Swift Calcs also allows you to share projects and worksheets on a user-by-user basis. Under the People tab, Swift Calcs will show all users that have access to the current project or worksheet. You can update or change their sharing level using the drop-downs at the right. The access levels listed here mirror those discussed already for public access, with the addition of Administrator. An administrator has full editing abilities and can also manage the sharing settings for the project or worksheet, allowing them to invite others to this worksheet or project as well. Users with rights inherited from a parent project are also shown in the next box. You can override the inherited rights by using the drop-down, even revoking rights altogether. Changing these options will override the sharing settings for this particular item, but it will not affect the settings for the user on the parent project from which it has been inherited. To share the project or worksheet with new users, under the Invite People area, you add the email addresses of those you wish to invite into the box. Note that you can invite any user with an email address, whether they have registered for Swift Calcs already or not. After you enter an email, you press the comma key to add it. It will turn green if the email address is recognized as valid. You can then add more users to invite. You then can use the drop-down at the right to select the share settings you wish to apply to these new users. By default, all new users are notified with an email message. Click the Add Message link to customize the email that users will receive, or uncheck the Notify Users by Email button to turn off the email notification. Email notifications look like the ones shown here. Users are greeted with your custom message and provided a direct link to accept your invitation to collaborate. Clicking this link will open the project or worksheet and add it to their active list. And if the user does not yet have a Swift Calcs account, they will automatically be logged in for the first time. When you have updated all of your sharing settings, simply click the blue Save Changes button to save the settings. Changes are immediately updated, and invited users will receive invites immediately. Note that users invited to collaborate will also see an Invitations option in their project list. By clicking on this option, they will see projects and worksheets that they have been invited to join until they accept or decline the invitation. This view allows the user to preview worksheets to which they have been invited, and then accept or reject the invitation. If a user does not receive an invitation email for some reason, due to spam filters or otherwise, you can advise them to create an account or log into Swift Calcs with the same email address you used to invite them. Once logged in, they will find your invitation waiting for them here under the Invitations area. Note that if you have no invitations, this option will not be shown in your project listing. Join us in our next lesson, where we will discuss embedding projects and worksheets into third-party websites.